your girl Diamond, and I'm back with an all-new review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's get into it. So we start off where we left off, which was with, not start off. We start off with Tiffany. She was over to Mel's house to talk about how great her Christmas party was, and she had a good time, but it kind of got a little sour when Thunderstorm came in and had her opinions about the situation that had nothing to do with her. But again, it was all good, but just from that point, talking about how opinionated she was about something that had nothing to do with her, Mel reminded Tiffany, you came in opinionated too. Granted, yeah, Tiffany came in hot. We're talking about things she had no business to talk about, but to me, I don't know. Stormy's intro is a little bit more unlikable than Tiffany was. And I said before, I didn't mind Tiffany later in the season. I didn't mind her at first. I felt like she was honest. I felt like she said things people didn't want to say. But I see. So they're going to have a conversation. And in a nutshell, Mel said, you can have this communication, this misunderstanding all settled out, but you don't have to be friends with everybody. You do not have to. Even if you work with them, you do not have to be friends with them. It is completely okay that y'all can have a conversation, move forward, be cordial. If y'all don't work on being friends, but you're not automatically obligated into being friends. Don't worry about that. So let me get to the book signing. And that she wasn't invited, but she wasn't asked. She was aware of what she needed to do. She said, first of all, it was my week. And I had death in the family. I already had something to do. So you're not going to control me into bending over backwards and doing what you want me to do. And setting boundaries and teach somebody levels of respect. That's Martell. He needs to be taught how he needs to respect and place boundaries for people. So, of course, it's kind of like, let's hope that Mel is not coming from a place of malice, a place of only going back to the hurt that he did where she wants to be petty, but she deserves to be petty. Look at the hurt that he put her through. You know what I'm saying? But at the same point in time, this wasn't even about her being petty. This was a symbol of the laws, the legalities. This was her week, and that there was a special day put in place for them to overlook. Yeah, it could take her another but 5 minutes to drop the kids off for an hour or two to have them participate in the book signing, but it's not what happened. So we're going to move on from that. And how Martell looked is sad. But in the day, looking at the past hurt, it's not much as the past hurt because it's still fresh. It's still recent. They have not been divorced in over a year. They have not. It's still pretty much brand new, right? So basically, I'm still getting over it, but there's 3 sides to a story. Her side, his side, and the truth. She said, my truth will always be the truth. So we're back to the book signing, and Mel wasn't invited. We can leave me out of it. Talking about men and how women in my positions have had men still try to run their lives when they're done with them. Still trying to control them. Still trying to have them bend over backwards for them. And that's not what I'm on. I'm not doing that. So Tiffany enjoyed hearing her side because she looked at Martell. He looked really sad and depressed. Fine, whatever. I was this close to feeling sad for Martell last episode, but I just realized something. No. Like, why would you want to send a last minute invite or last minute warning or last minute check-in about a book signing she had no idea about? You tell her to get the kids' hair done. Kids' hair done for what? Because she doesn't have a communication with him. She doesn't have a relationship with him. As far as being parents, she doesn't have one because it's still learning how to. Because Martell feels like things can go back to the way they were. No, they can't. No, they can't. They're not going back to the way they were. They're not. You need to respect when I have something going on and it's my week. When it's your week, I have nothing else to say. I cannot hop in on you whenever I feel like it because I have something planned on the day that you have the kids. No, I can't do that. I'm trying to be respectful, which is what Martell doesn't want to do, is to be respectful. And while divorce is complicated, divorce is hard, Tiffany can understand that because she went through a divorce. And she opened up how in her divorce, she left when things wasn't working for her. She wanted a different lifestyle. She wanted more money. She wanted more comfortability. And while the man that she was married to, which was her high school sweetheart, he was a kind, loving, sensitive man. He was a hard worker, but it wasn't enough. So she took advantage of it. She made selfish decisions. Even though he passed on, she never got left with the feeling of he loved her through all her flaws. She got what she still got that though. While all the things that she went through to make sure that the thing that she wanted out of life was what she wanted, she realized she made herself a decision. Had she thought about what could make her life different, if she talked about it instead of just going out sinking it, it would have been a different outcome. But he loved her unconditionally. And how knowing how she was loved unconditionally, it made her be prepared to be Lewis's wife. And she started to tear up and get emotional. And Mel said, "Oh my God, he loved you. He loved you so much, and you broke his heart. And he called you his soulmate." I was like, "Man, are you being funny? Are you being serious? You're being so mean right now." But I can't get that upset. But damn, Mel. But like Mel said in a nutshell, you wanted more, you want a different lifestyle. You said, "Deuces, I'm out," which is nothing wrong at the same point in time. Because how would you feel if a woman who wanted more never got more and just stuck in something she didn't want to be in? You even looking at her like, "Girl, what you doing? You want to wallow? You want to perish? Girl, get what you want." Because it be two and two. People will get mad when they do it, and then people get mad when they don't do it. So I'm not mad that Tiffany opened up about wanting more. And yes, if she would have evaluated it, had a conversation, but realizing the personal growth that she had to go through to feel like the grass is not always greener on the other side, is greener where you water it. That's what you got to do. Because sometimes the grass isn't always green on the other side. It can be something for a moment, but it's not a lifetime. That's why money can't buy you happiness, but it sure does buy you everything else and all that much. But money don't buy happiness. It can't. Money is not something you can buy. I mean, happiness isn't something you can buy. It's something that you have already, eternally. It's something that you share. And it just grows and grows and grows. Am I there? Yes, Kimmy. Yep, Kimmy. So Kimmy invites Tisha over to have a conversation about what happened at Mel's party, but she wanted to talk about what happened at the reunion because Kimmy said if it wasn't for her being her sister-in-law, she would not be friends with her in real life. But she wanted to clarify it. She wanted to clarify by saying it wasn't like that. It was me saying that different circumstances, if I did not have a loving relationship with you, I would have washed my hands of you. But since I love you and you are family, I'm willing to stick it out with you. I'm willing to stick it out with you. I'm willing to go back and forth with you because you're family and I love you for it. Now, my mind went completely different in this conversation. It did. And my mind went, is Kimmy trying to set up a ploy where she's showcasing that she's on Tisha's side when it's necessary? And when it comes down to Tisha calling out what Kimmy doesn't do, what will Kimmy do? That's the part that I want to know because, what's the word I'm trying to find? I just feel like I said, my mind went different. My mind feel like, Kimmy, are you trying to set up a backup plan so you can be on Tisha's side in case it blows up in your face? And you want to say, at least I told you about it. At least I told you what I said so I can have, enough time to be on your good graces for a little bit. I don't know. My mind went that way. But Tisha appreciated. She wishes, I'm happy that you, explained that. And can we leave the past in the past and leave it in 2021? Okay, cool. So how was the honeymoon? Honeymoon was great. She's so happy she has a husband like Maurice. She's so happy. And they're kindred spirits. And they had a good time. They don't have to do a lot to have a good time. They don't need to have a long itinerary. They went out with clubs. They ate. They drank. It was a really good time. She wants to go back because she can't focus on work. She wants to go back to Puerto Rico. But she wants to plan a group outing. She wants the group to go out on vacation. But speaking of group activities, I went to Mel's party. Segueing into the mess, right? I went to Mel's Christmas party and you were invited and Destiny wasn't invited. But your cousin Keke was there. Oh, really? I didn't know that she knew Mel like that. I didn't either. Now, I said it in my other videos that Mel did a couple of interviews and she said that she knew Keke longer than she knew Tisha. So obviously it's a shock because they didn't know how close the relationship was with Mel. But all honesty, it was a conversation about Tisha being brought up in conversations because Kimmy said there was a lot of Tisha conversations. And she felt like it was an inappropriate situation. How in this group we tend to have inappropriate moments to bring up things, and I felt like that wasn't the right time, and you weren't there to defend yourself. But she feels like the main reason was for her to be invited was for Mel to bash her, and that she said that Keke is her cousin. They're not BFFs, but they're cool. And I figured if you had a problem with me, you would have called me and talked to me, not team up against somebody and bash me. But like they always said, blood ain't always thicker than mud. Okay, that means you're just letting that go, right? Now, when it came down to the whole thing about the conversation about Tisha, it wasn't in a bad way. I said it before. They weren't talking bad about her, but it was confirmed that there were already rumors, there was already doubts in Tisha's mind if she wants to move forward in her marriage. Kimmy was just open about it, but again, she didn't have a gun in her head. She wasn't baited. It was a simple question, and Keke answered it. But we're gonna find out why Keke did it. Marceau. So we're at Black, and Maurice comes in, talks about his honeymoon. Marceau wants to know how it was. He said it was great. Kimmy's a whole different person. We're on vacation, which means she was a freak. And she likes to travel. I did not know why I like to travel. You didn't know your wife did not like to. You did not know that your wife likes to travel? Okay, Maurice. Do you pay attention to what Kimmy wants and what Kimmy likes? Fine. Basically, Marceau got a little bit uncomfortable with hearing his brother's bedroom, situations. I don't want to imagine or think about my sister-in-law in that way. So can you just, leave me out of that? I was like, okay, Marceau, don't be a little prude, man. I mean, it wasn't that serious, but I get it. I don't want to know about that. I understand. So basically, he said what happened in Puerto Rico doesn't have to stay in Puerto Rico, but what happens in the bedroom, stay in the bedroom. So Louis comes by the restaurant to have a conversation because it's going in his mind about how Marceau treated them at the reunion, right? Marceau trying to be funny into making sure Louis takes a shot because remember last season when Maurice had a conversation with Tiffany and the way that it ended, Louis was like, if I had a shot at me, it would have been a different story. Baiting as if Louis was going to do something, right? So we're talking about the main thing was marriage and that Louis thought he had the right to talk about his marriage, right? And that he has not earned the right to share an opinion about his marriage. But he has not earned the right. But I feel like Louis said, you are a contradictory right now because you made comments about my marriage in general. True, you have. But he said it was in defense of what you said that was offensive. Louis wants to know what he said that was offensive. And he bring in that, like the words, you said I was in a bad marriage. Flashback. When they were at the dinner in Vegas, he said, first of all, I'm gonna challenge you what you said. I'm gonna be direct on what you said. In the confessional, he talks about how when you're married to your life partner. There are no secrets. And that's when Tiffany said, maybe that's why Tisha and Marceau aren't in a great marriage because they don't communicate about little things and important things, which was the truth. They never said bad marriage. They said you guys are in a great marriage. But I feel like Marceau, was there a lie? I see no lie being told. I don't, because it was the truth. But he keeps on talking about, who the hell do you think you are to have an opinion about my marriage? Who do you think you are? Marceau, you're on a reality show. If you do want people to have a conversation or an opinion about your marriage, don't be on a reality show. Now you're mad at Louis because Louis called you out in Vegas of having pillow talk with the guys that you were open to talking about. You opened the door to talk about how you felt about your marriage. And when it was brought up, Tisha was a bit stupid, of course, because you didn't tell her. And Louis called you out on it. You can't get mad at me. Blame yourself for opening up about what you feel about your marriage and that you didn't tell your wife. Don't come at me. Then say you don't know me well enough. Who the hell do you think you are? I said, Marceau, you are really mad about that. But you have made comments about Louis and Tiffany. You have. Because you look down on the fact that both Louis and Tiffany were divorced. And if they got divorced, that means they failed at marriage. They didn't fail. That marriage wasn't working. So that marriage failed. Not them. The marriage they were in did not work. So they got out of it. Because it really made me mad last season when you look down on divorce as if your own brother right next to you didn't get divorced after being married for 10 years and got with Kimmy. I'm confused. See, Marceau only views things when it makes sense to him, and when it doesn't make sense, he looks down on it. And as if you guys aren't having opinions about other people's marriages. You guys have all reveled in the host marriages. All have. And Marceau, I don't know if anybody else have heard the audio about you talking shit about your brother and his marriage. I hope we get into that this season. Because you are no exempt. You are in no shape and form a victim. And your marriage being the main conversation that everybody talks about. You're not. Last season, it was all about Mel and Martell. Season before, Mel and Martell. The first season, Mel and Martell. You are just getting your desserts now. So you can miss me with that. You can. So basically, Louis wants to know, what did I say about your marriage that was so bad? Did I go into detail, or was I based off of what I saw? But he said, you saw what was on TV. I don't think they watched the season. They don't even need to watch the season to see what they saw. They saw it right in front of them. Right in front of them when they were in Vegas. They saw how little you respect your wife, little you show her any affection. Can we go back to the wedding chapel when you made Tisha look so fucking stupid? When you did not want to get up there and say a few kind words of congratulating your wife, appreciating your wife about making 15 years. You sat there and made her look so damn stupid. You can miss me with that shit. You can miss me with that. Like, can we go back, please? And it's like, again, assumptions. You made assumptions about my marriage too, Marceau, which is the truth. You keep on calming down on them like they were married for 11 months. They've been married for a song. I can make a pamphlet. I can make a manual, a book of how to reach a year in marriage. I said it before. It's not easy. It's not easy. Being married is not easy, no matter how long you've been in it. Now, Marceau wants to talk about how, he married a girl, asked the girl to marry him at 26. But I don't care, Marceau. I don't care. You having 15 years of experience does not make you a licensed person to give advice on marriage. It doesn't. It don't make Louis and Tiffany advice, experienced therapists on marriage. It don't. But at the same point in time, I'm not going to knock down advice if somebody gave it to me. I'm 6 years in. I don't know everything. My parents are 15 years in. They don't know everything. I got 30 years, 25, 47. I got all that in my family. And there are things that they will learn from one another, because it's not that wrong and far-fetched to receive advice from somebody. But Marceau views marriages like a business. If you failed at it, then you low. If you've excelled at it, then you win. He looks at things like a business mindset, and that's not good. Then, of course, it's a general rule to not give advice to someone else's marriages, especially who they just met. But you also just met Louis, and you opened up about how you felt about your marriage on TV. So what's up with that? Louis is not here for this, because he said, you want to go back and rehash this shit? He said, okay, fine. How it came up was, our conversation was a general fact of confidence was lost. That's why the communication wasn't there. And there was nothing that was saying that your marriage was bad. And it wasn't nothing. It was the truth. Communication was lost. You said that Tisha wasn't confident. You never expressed that to her. You expressed it to me and the guys, but you never expressed it to her. And I will never make my wife or my husband be in a room where something that's going to be brought up of what I said about him that he don't know. I don't want him to look stupid. I don't want him to be like, oh, you talking about me? You don't tell me what you talked about? I'm not going to do that to him. And he wouldn't do that to me. So again, Marceau wants to literally place the entire blame on Louis about what he said. But I feel like, Marceau, at the end of the day, everybody has made comments about you, about Tisha, about Louis, about Tiffany. Everybody has. It is not far-fetched for us to have an opinion about something that you put out there. You put out us for having a conversation and an opinion about your marriage. You did. It wasn't Louis. Louis didn't lead the brigade. He just got here last season. The first 2 seasons, we said a lot about your relationship and your marriage. It wasn't just Louis. And if you don't want us to talk about your marriage, don't get on reality TV. Don't do it. And again, you don't know me to have a problem about my marriage. You haven't earned it. All that, then some. But Louis is like, so I don't know you well enough to have a conversation about that. But you don't know me. How long have you known each other? Huh? How long have we known each other? I've been here since 99. And I've known you prior to that. You know of me. We've never broke bread. We shake hands. We did this and that. Basically, Marcel doesn't want anybody to talk about his marriage, but when he does the same things. He's said, I don't talk about my dad's marriage, I don't talk about this, I don't talk about that, and and don't talk about my marriage. I'm like, Marcel, you can miss me. Now, I saw in the comments that people thought that Lewis got ate up. I don't think Lewis got ate up, in my opinion. I think Lewis had the same energy in calling out what Marcel did too, because he made comments about them in general. He's made general statements as much as they have. Everybody has. It is not so wrong of Lewis and Tiffany to call things out the way they see it. To me, I feel like this was an even match, that Marcel could not bullshit his way. He could not sun Lewis the way he wanted to. And it didn't work because he felt like we're going to be tit for tat. We're going to agree to disagree, and that's not what's going to work for me. So Maurice tried to help his brother out by saying, listen, bro, at the end of the day, how would you feel? We just met you. You coming into the group, and we're talking about your marriage. What would you think? You don't know my marriage. Exactly. And you have not earned the right. You haven't been invited in to have a conversation, okay? And Marcel, again, with these stupid analogies. It's like you're a straight A student that you haven't earned the right to teach. But I maintain the grades, though. Said by Lewis. I maintain the grades, though. No, we haven't earned the right to teach. Marcel, you couldn't even listen to Dr. Francis when he tried to give you advice about your marriage. And he was a licensed marriage counselor with over 20 years of experience and over 20 years of marriage. You couldn't even listen to him because he wasn't coming from a place of where he gave you a pass and the shit that you do. And the entire problems is what Tisha does. That's what, I swear. I was with Lewis in this scene. I was. And I do believe that since everybody did not like them last season, Lewis and Tiffany are just going to take it. They just going to take it. They going to say what they want. They're not going to say more than what they want. They're going to be less authentic than they were because they don't want to get bragged on again, which I find fucked up. If you guys get to have the ability to say everything that you want to say to somebody and they can do the same thing to you, that's not fair. That's why everybody is on Marcel's ass of him not taking accountability for putting his brother out there. Granted, was Maurice wrong for lying? Yes. But Marcel made it worse by making that picture. And he doesn't want to admit that he's wrong. Marcel will never admit that he's wrong, and that's the problem. So, out of respect, he said he's sorry. You know what I'm saying? He said he's sorry and da-da-da. But Lewis said in a confessional, well, if I said something wrong and I apologize for it, that meant I meant it. But my actions weren't 100% wrong. And if I say something, I'm going to say what it is. You might not like what I say, but I'm going to still say it. And you don't want me to say it out loud? Okay, I'm going to be quiet. But I still see things the way that I see things. And the way that he see things, Tisha and Marcel's marriage is not as perfect, it's not as good as they're trying to paint it out to be. It's like how Tisha did this season, beginning, when she's talking about, this is what 15 years gets you. I trust my husband 100%. Da-da-da-da-da. Girl, bye. And the fact you guys are both on this campaign, this constant grandstanding of y'all marriage is so good, so good, so good, I can't tell. I can't tell. You started off with going off to Africa and not taking her with you. That's not good. Okay? And then Maurice put Marceau to task to apologize to Lewis because you said some offensive remarks to him as well, and you got a little bit overboard during this scene to get a point. He said, I do? You do. And Marceau was like, Lewis, do I owe you an apology? Lewis said, listen, if you owe me one, if you don't owe me one, it is what it is. I keep shit pushing anyway. Now, I know it was like a bait of getting Marceau to think, does he owe him an apology? He does owe him an apology. He owes him for putting the blame on him in Vegas, coming at him so hard when he was talking about, you've only been married for 5 years, your divorce failed. That means you failed in life. That shit wasn't necessary. All that shit that Marceau did at the reunion wasn't necessary in my opinion, because Marceau, like I said before, you do not own the right to talk about anybody else's marriage because you think your marriage is so perfect when your marriage has plenty of flaws in it, which is what Lou's trying to tell you in the first place. Everybody got flaws in their shit. I'm willing to open up about mine, but you want to keep yours in a perfect platter. Not gonna work for me. But, you know, he apologized for it, and Maurice feels like Marceau used to be so kind-hearted as a kid, but maybe as he got older, did the money change him? Did the money harden his heart? Because he even called his brother a prideful son of a bitch. I was like, Maurice, I think it's I can't even say money changed him because he doesn't buy anything for his family to elevate. He buys things for himself. He's selfish. I think what changed him is the persona of him being on social media. I will say that. And I feel like since this is the season that he said we're not going to like him, I believe that he's feeling it. Because the way that he was looking in that scene, he didn't look like himself. He was really getting pissed off. And I felt like, for what? Who's breathing down your back in order for you to now want to show up and defend for your wife now? Because you haven't done that for the last 3 seasons. Why this time you want to have something to say? So could money have changed him, or was it how he's being viewed on TV? Because my soul is playing, y'all. My soul is playing because how much he plays on what he might do, what he's not doing, and he goes on lives with these 5-minute lives that's talking about nothing because he enjoys this shit. He enjoys it. So I don't know. But moving on from that, Martell, he goes to his manager, talk about more business adventures. With the book he has with his kids, he has a fitness line coming out. He has the wine, and he also has a healthy cookbook coming out that focuses on healthy foods, vegan foods, Mediterranean foods, and just focusing on different covers. The first cover for his cookbook was him in an apron and shirtless. Not appeasing to the family crowd, so we're going to change that. Capitalize off the book, maybe get a billboard with the kids, and make sure the kids come on the week that you have them, because he admitted you can't control what other people wants to do for you, especially now that you're divorced, because he was sad about the kids couldn't make it. Now, for his wine launch, he wants to have a big party. His manager had the idea of a mansion in Atlanta and have food, have a chef, have all the other celebrities give you honest feedback about your wine because people out here know you and want you to get an honest feedback, right? So, of course, who do you want to come? He said, I want Maurice to come, Marceau to come. She said, you sure? Yeah, why? Because of what happened with social media. Oh, with that, well, I figured that wasn't really that much of a bad thing, though. I mean, that was a laughable thing. What was funny? Where's the humor? Can't find it. And for social media, I gotta be certain because you are not a really good person on social media right now. You're getting ragged on. And I don't want to be in my PR mode into fixing something that I am going to be desperately trying to fix for your brand. And how do you want this event? What do you want most out of it? Beautiful women, because this is what the wine is supposed to be for. And the manager makes a joke about, can linebackers come? He said, oh yeah, linebackers can come. I'm like, oh my God, ignore this linebacker comment, please. Please ignore this linebacker comment. Yeah, that was pretty much it because he talked about, how he's been in the limelight, a bad limelight of social media, by mail, by press. No, Martell, you've been scrutinized for the things you've done. So own that shit. Don't place blame on mail. Don't place blame on social media. Own your shit, right? Moving on. Tiffany goes and talks to Stormy. Stormy invites her out because she didn't get a chance to interact with her at the party. She wanted to get to know more about her, right? When Tiffany sits down, she said, listen, did I say something to offend you? She said, well, that's why we're here. And we're here because I want to get to know you and get an understanding of you outside that ignorant comment that you made. Again, what's with the attitude? Pipe down, Stormy. What ignorant comment? Of you trying to check her about something that was so old, and she checked your ass back by saying, this is something so old. It's like somebody telling you what you did when you was 12. Moving on from that, like. So, Stormy feeling like, okay, well, you came off to me a little bit feisty at Mel's party. No. No, I didn't. I don't like that word. You're not gonna place that word on me. I don't like that word. Call me passionate. I was passionate. But anyway, but even if you were passionate, Tiffany feels like whether or not you were in this moment or in the moment at the party, you would have been giving me the same receiving demeanor. She said, I would, And Tiffany said she was tired. She been up since 4 o'clock that morning. And Stormy said, yeah, I don't even drink, but I drank something. And I apologize how she came off. And she wanted to get to know her more. And of course, Tiffany said, well, since you are a friend of Mel's, I want to see you be a friend of mine. Here you go, Stormy. Let's just see where this goes. Okay, let's just see where it goes. Let's talk about this transparency. How does transparency come about? Why are you bringing up old shit, please? Can we put the word transparency to dead? Put it to dead. Stormy, why does it matter to you? Now you want her to understand what transparency means. Please, I'm done with that fucking word. I'm done with it. So Tiffany said, I think the word's been overused. I think I like the word authentic. And then I believe this is what they were trying to do, but it made it worse on Tiffany. She was talking about being misunderstood, how she wants to be a people pleaser, but she doesn't want to be the same person. She wants to be different. I don't want to sugarcoat shit. It looked like she was going on and on and on and on and on, but I don't think that's how it was. And Stormy's face was like stank. Like she smelled something so terrible. She was just like looking at the cameraman. Do I really gotta sit here? Why I gotta sit here with her? Okay. I get paid. Like just so stank in the face. Just so stank. I don't like it. And then when she was talking, Storm was like, huh? Girl, I zoned out about 5 seconds ago. 5 sentences ago. Rude as hell. Stormy, you so fucking rude. Girl, you tilting. I said in my last video, I like Storm, but she came off too much. And in this scene, you did entirely too much, in my opinion. How are you gonna want to have a conversation with somebody but be so fucking rude? What did Tiffany do to you? That's what I want to understand. And Tiffany was like, is that shade? Yes, that's shade. I was like, Stormy, the hell's wrong with you? Like I said, I'm really trying with you, but that was complete. That made a nasty taste in my mouth, what you displayed for me. And like I said before, you're coming off like a fan, like a viewer. You're coming off from the comments that you made about Tiffany and her season. What is your issue with Tiffany? What is your issue? I can't find it. What is it? So, this is when Tiffany was like, girl, at the end of the day, fine. The fact that she did this, I think friendship is out the window. So I'm just going to see where this goes. So then she talks about her over talking this pregnancy brain, which led to Stormy bringing up how she went through IVF. And it was tough. It was hard because she found out she had endometriosis. So IVF took the first time, but it was still a harder thing as she was being pregnant. It was still hard. And she almost died. She had lost a lot of blood. She hemorrhaged. She had a tear. And at that point, it prevented her. It scared her to the point where she doesn't want to get pregnant again. And Tiffany also went through a tough pregnancy before. And how her and Lewis were in the conversation of having a baby together. Tiffany said she's 34. Now, I see in the comments when I saw this scene that people were like, girl, 34 where? I thought 44. I thought 46. Come on, y'all. For real. I mean, if Tiffany styling, it's Tiffany styling. I can't get really pissed off with somebody's style. People say my style is weird. Hell, my mama say my style is weird. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get mad at Tiffany for her style. If that's how she wants to dress, how she wants to dress. Do I want her to dress more youthful? Yes, because she's not old. A little more youthful, okay? No more old-fashioned. No more retirement. Just something more youthful, okay? But she's contemplating on if she has it in her to do it because she is working, she is busy, so is Lewis, and babysitters. Her grandparents are around the corner, her mom is around the area, and maybe it can work. And she's also in the search of finding her biological father. Stormy wanted to know her history. Like, how did that work? How did you, what was it about you, your history? So she was born of a woman in Birmingham, placed in foster care. Her family found her in Montgomery. And she'd been trying to find her biological father. So Stormy couldn't imagine having her father in her life. So she really sympathizes with what Tiffany went through, right? And now they got a better understanding of one another. And she said, okay, we can build from that. We can do a report from this. It's good. So Tiffany asked Stormy, are we good? Are we good? We're getting to know each other. Is that good or bad? I mean, it is what it is. I was like, Stormy, get out of my screen. Stormy, again, what's the problem? She said, asked you, are you good? It is what it is. What the hell does that mean? It is what it is. Like, what the fuck? What did Tiffany do to you? Why are you so mean and rude to somebody who didn't do anything to you? The hell, that wasn't even necessary. Like, Tiffany's not even at the point where she'll be friends with your ass. She's left. First of all, it's fine. Whatever you want, good. I mean, it is what it is. What the hell? Whatever, Stormy, whatever. Not good, not necessary. Your demeanor is ugly. Your stank face is nasty. Anyway. Ending it with Tisha and Keke. She arrives at Black. We see Jalen working hard. He's been working all day. He has to go home prepare for the night shift. Does he not get a break? Fine. Keke arrives, and then above them was a picture of Kimmy smoking. I said, oh, that's a nice picture of Kimmy. Okay. So we're talking about the issues because Tisha heard from Kimmy that you had a lot of things to say about me. It was you saying a lot of things at Mel's party. Yeah, but it wasn't a degrading way. It wasn't talking behind your back. I know, Keke, it wasn't, but you still mentioned there was something that Tisha was concerned about in her marriage and that you said to everybody. So that still was not right. But then we're talking about that in the confessional. Keke said, my cousin also shared things about my personal business. And she's mad at me for what I shared to her in confidence, but she did the same thing. And right now, I feel like I thought I can trust my cousin. So Tisha and Marceau told her personal business to Martell and Mel. It was 4 Christmases ago. And Tisha, that's not how it happened. But Keke said, you apologized to me for it. You called and admitted that you said it and you apologized for it. That's not how it happened. So Tisha, this was before Keke got to the party. Tisha spoke to Mel and Martell about a personal issue that Keke was going through. And she felt like, as a friend of them, I should let them know who they're inviting through their home because they were hanging out with Keke through Tisha, right? So while Keke felt like you told my business to somebody that I don't really know, but you still feel like as a friend to the host, you wanted to tell them, I'm stuck with wanting to understand what did that mean. Because why would you mention her personal business to Mel and Martell? What did they have to do with you telling them her business? If she was invited to the party, I believe it was up to Keke to let them know what she was going through, right? Why did it have to be you? Why did you feel like in order for, I mean, she probably felt obligated because I brought my cousin to their home, so I feel like I'm obligated to let them know what's going on with her. But if Mel and Keke had developed their own friendship without you, then that has to deal with them, not you. And it's been said again, Keke and Mel known each other for years before she met you. So something else is not being added in this, and I want to know what it is. So Mel going back and forth with what was said, what was true, and that, Keke had conversations with Tisha. She said there's on the phone for about 3 or 4 hours of what was said, and Keke said you called, you admitted, and you apologized. But that was 4 years ago. I thought we moved past it. Why are you bringing up old shit? And da-da-da-da-da. So then I believe that Tisha said something. Obviously, I believe that Tisha was coming from a malicious standpoint of bringing up her cousin's personal business to Mel. Was that at the time where Tisha wanted to get cool with Mel, wanted to get under Mel's wing to learn more about how to be a businesswoman and a wife and a mother? Is that what that was? And Mel must have had another camaraderie or another form of friendship with Keke and she got jealous of it? I have no idea. I could be moving way ahead with that, but even though it was 4 years ago, you forgave her, right? You moved on, you moved forward. So why is this coming up now? I do believe that Tisha said it in a way that she meant to say it. And y'all both are in the wrong for bringing up other people's situations in front of Mel. Why are y'all doing this in front of Mel? What is it about Mel that y'all want to tell y'all business to? I have no idea. What is that? And then she said, what if Mel would have lied to you? She said she would have lied to me and things she said weren't true. Ooh. Were some things true, Tisha? Some things that was true that you told Keke or that Mel knows what they true? Okay. So she said, okay, first of all, how about we cut ties? That's what Tisha said. Let's cut ties, okay? Because we're not moving forward. And Keke was hurt that she told Mel her personal business. But you don't think you heard me? That's bull. It ended with that. Tisha walked outside, called Kimmy. Kim was like, girl, you won't believe this. I said this. Okay, we got over it. It was 4 years ago. Why you bring this up now? And what you did. When I called her out on it, she wanted to get mad and da-da-da-da. So Keke comes back outside and walks up to her. And she said, who are you talking about me now? End of the episode. Tisha leaves, calls Kimmy, walks out. I was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen after this? It said to be continued. What's gonna happen with this? And then we see something that's gonna happen with Melody and Destiny. I can't wait, y'all. I can't wait. But that's it, you guys. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for the next video, and I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.